Hello beautiful people, my name is Bridget and welcome back to my channel. Hope you're having a great day, and today's video is going to be finally a review of the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Cremated eyeshadow palette. Now this came out on May 22nd released. It's sold out really quickly. I was lucky enough to get my hands on it and it's finally here. I paid for the fast shipping so I get this video out the same day I received this thing. So today we're doing a first impressions of this palette. We're going to do this look together, see what I think so far, and then my next video that comes out will be a 3 looks 1 palette. So we'll do 3 different makeup tutorials as well as a review of the palette as a whole. So if this doesn't spark your fancy, maybe you'll like my next 3 looks, which will be more fun because I'm excited to play with it. So without any further ado, you guys, let's go ahead and get to today's video. I do want to give a quick disclaimer. This is not a review of Jeffree Star as a person. I don't know how I feel about him as a person, but this is a review of the quality of the products. So yeah, there's that. Let's get into it. All right, guys, so my heart is beating a million miles a minute. Like, I've been lusting after this thing for so long and it's finally here. I've been waiting every day. I've been waiting all day with like this half face on, waiting for this to arrive so I could like get started the second it comes. And it just got here. So this is how it comes if you just order the palette. This palette retails for $58 for 24 shades. I paid $14.19 for shipping, $5.06 with tax. So altogether this palette cost me $77.25 for just a palette, which is the most money I've ever spent on a palette other than the blood sugar, because I asked for 1 day shipping on that and it still didn't get here until like 2 weeks later. But other than that, this is the most money I've ever spent on a palette. So let's get started. Let's open it up because I am dying to see it in person. Up until this morning when I was like researching how much it costs and stuff, it is $2.41 per shade in the palette, in case you're wondering that too. I didn't know what the cover of this palette looked like. I had just been looking at the inside. I didn't realize the cover of this is a picture of Jeffree, which I mean, it's a beautiful picture. It's stunning. He looks gorgeous. Also, Jeffree, wear yellow hair more because you look amazing in yellow hair. But I didn't realize a picture of him on the front of the palette, which kind of bums me out because I really like when he has like artwork on the front of his palette, which all of his palettes have artwork on the front and like the big name of the palette. So I'm not really a fan of that, but maybe it's prettier in person. We have the little postcard here that we normally get. I have a bunch of postcards from Jeffree Star and I just keep them and I don't know what to do with them. So let's open it up. Oh, I love this paper. I don't want to rip it. That is so my aesthetic. Oh, it's so pretty. I don't want to rip it. Let's see. Okay, well. Oh well. Okay, so we have the signature pink bubble wrap inside, and this is the palette. I love the sleeve. I don't like keeping palettes in the box because it's harder to get to, and it's harder to just open up and see what you want to do that day. But this box is like, the letters are cut out and it's really beautiful. Oh, it's clear. It's not actually cut out. And this is the palette itself. He looks beautiful. Now, if I took a picture like this, I'd want to put it on the front of a palette too, to be honest. And oh. Okay, so I'm gonna take the plastic cover off. For some reason, I didn't realize in the promo pictures that the inside was marble in here too. I thought it was just gray, but between the shadows and stuff is marbled. So this is the palette up close. This little piece right here makes it look like it's dirty. I thought maybe something had shattered, but it's just the marble imprint. So I'm not a fan of this little smudge in the middle of my palette. But other than that, it is beautiful. It is just like it looks online. It's so pretty. Now I do say, just looking at it in person, these really foiled shades look super fragile and they look like the imprints are already distorted. So let's take a close look at this shade called Pallbearer. You can see there's an imprint in there, but it's really hard to read. A lot of the imprints are kind of smudgy in here because I think it's going to be a really soft shadow. So after I feel it, I'll let you know. After my 3 looks video, I'll let you know. But this does look really fragile, so I'm going to have to like feel them and make sure they're not going to be too fragile. But it did come perfectly intact and it does have a big mirror. Where are you at? There you at. In here. So let's get started with the look. For my eyelid, I'm going to start off with an eye base. So this is Jar Cosmetics Clean Canvas Eye Base in the color medium. It is a little tinted, but I'm going to tap it on my finger just a little bit, give our base something nice to work off of. The thing I'm concerned about this palette is, let's take an example like the Smoke Show palette from Colourpop, which looks like this, which is now called Blow and Smoke. It's grays and blacks. And sometimes certain colors like that in certain palettes, not just the Colourpop one, can come off kind of patchy, especially when you blend really ashy tones together. So I am concerned about that. I must say that I do enjoy that there's only one black in this palette. For being a gray palette, I'm so glad there's only one black because I don't really use black shadow that much, but I love a cool tone gray. So I'm here for it. And really this shade right here, the green Inheritance shade, is the one I want to use the most, but I'm gonna save that. So let me pry my eyes and we'll get started. Okay, so my hands are very tan compared to my face. I apologize about that, but I always forgot to put sunscreen in my hands. So let's get started. I want to set underneath of my brow bone area before we get started so nothing creases on us. We're gonna start off with, we'll do Death Blow, which is the very white shade, and I'll mix in a little bit of this Casket Ready too. We'll mix a little bit of these two together. I'm already wanting to mix shades because I can't, they all look so pretty. Now I do tap off the excess, and I do think a lot of the shades kind of look similar, but they looked more similar online. They don't look as similar in person, so they are different shades. I do wish there was a mini palette with this because these kind of shades, a lot of people don't know what to do with all these different shades. So a mini palette would be super cute, and Jeffree, you can still make one, you know. It doesn't matter if it came out on first launch. Like, people would love a mini palette of this because this color scheme is gorgeous. If the palette's quality is good, I don't know yet. Okay, wiped off the shadow off that brush so it's clean again. And let's start off, we're just gonna build up something simple for this first look. Again, my 3 looks video will probably be a little more dramatic, but let's start off with Life Insurance, which is a light gray with a cute little hearse inside. This is a minimal amount of kickback in the pan. Not bad. I'm just gonna start building, just start out. Now my eyelid is actually, because it's a tinted base, slightly more dark than my face right now. So this is probably gonna be a better test of people with a medium skin tone. But again, you can always start off with a lighter base, but I really wanted like a nice tacky eyelid primer for today. And this color is very subtle. So let me just build it up a little bit. This shadow does work a little bit better if you don't tap off the excess. And it is a lighter shade, so I feel like if you don't tap off the excess, you're not gonna get anything wild going on. You know how sometimes you dip into a shadow, don't tap off the excess, and you're like, that was too much. I don't think you have to worry about it with this Life Insurance shade because it's so light. Okay, wiped off the product again. This is our first color down, other than like the setting colors. I don't really think they count. It's nice, it blended out really easily, no effort. It's good, but it is better if you don't tap off the excess. But like we said, light shades I don't think really matters. So next thing I wanna go into, I'm torn because I wanna like slowly build this up for you guys, but Eulogy and Last Respects look really nice. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do Last Respects, which is a little more taupey. This does have some kickback in the pan, it's very soft. I'm gonna tap off the excess and we'll just add this to our crease. All right, so this is the shade Last Respects compared to what we had just before, so you can see how it kind of built it up and made it darker. These both shades, like, you know, I said blending silver shades can kind of get muddy sometimes. These are blending together so great so far, but it is only 2. So let me go ahead and match this on the other side. All right, so this is the shade Last Respects on both sides. I think it looks really nice. Again, they blended together really evenly. There was some kickback in the pan with this shade, but nothing crazy. And again, for my first impression looks, I do like to do something you can just recreate really simply. For my 3 looks on palette, something a little more fun. But this so far is looking really nice to me. So let's move into the shade The Morgue, which is very nice. And I'm gonna do a baby tap of, as well, of Gravedigger, which is this one. I'm gonna focus this color mixture on the outer portion. These are blending together so evenly into everything and like without any effort that I just want to keep making looks with this palette. I know it's my first look I'm doing with it, but like I can already tell, I'm just enjoying how this is blending, which I didn't think I would. Like, I love the color story and everything, but I didn't think I'd enjoy blending it as much as I do because grays can be tricky. Sometimes they come off really ashy and really dusty, or they kind of like stick where you put them and don't want to blend out. So far, so good. I know I've only tested a couple of the shades so far, but like, it's effortless. I don't want to jump to conclusions because some of the shades could be bad. Like, there's a couple shades in Jeffree Star palettes that are like really like, oh my god, what did he do? So I haven't found that shade yet if it's in here. But like, this is so nice. Okay, so I'm gonna call that good for our crease. I'm loving it. So I'm gonna take my finger into, let's do 2 shades on my lid. So we're gonna do Diamond Ashes, which is this kind of white, silvery, really metallic-y shade. on the inner portion of my lid, and for the outer portion on my lid, let's take the shade Death Certificate, which is this shade right here. It's one of those that has like a more crisp imprint than some of the rest of them, because again, like this one looks really blurred out, but we're gonna do that for our lid. I'm just gonna use my pinky because I don't care if it looks diffused. So it feels kind of gritty. I mean, it doesn't feel gritty, but it looks kind of gritty on the finger. We can tell. No, it doesn't want to focus on it. Okay, well, we'll just see how it applies. And again, our lid isn't set, so it should stick to our sticky base. So that's that with the finger. We had a little bit of fall up, that's okay. It looks cute. Now into Death Certificate. This feels a lot more smooth, and it picked up a lot on the finger. So I'm just gonna tap a little bit on this side and a little bit on this side. It's super, super soft, so it picked up a ton, but we can tell it does look really nice. So I'm just gonna go back and forth between those two shades and kind of blur them in the middle. Going back into our blending brush with no extra product, I'm just gonna blend our shimmers into the crease so it just kind of looks all smooshed together nicely. Okay, I'm just gonna leave the fallout. I have a little bit of fallout, but it's from the shimmer, so I use my finger. That's gonna be expected. So what I'm gonna do now is my lower lash line. I'm taking the E55 brush from Sigma. You can use my code if you want to on Sigma. You don't have to, it's cool. And we're gonna use the shade Wednesday, which is like this really just staple stale steel gray. And I'm just gonna buff it under lower lash line. All right guys, so this is our look. I'm gonna go pop on some mascara lashes, finish up my face. I'll be right back, and then we'll talk about this look and see it all put together, because it does not look the same until you put lashes on. All right guys, so this is the finished look. What do we think, besides the fact that I need to whiten my teeth, because I do. I think this is so cute. Like, can we get an up close? Can we get an up close? It's so pretty. I love that the shimmers went into my crease, but you can still see the nice blend we have going on in our crease with the darker shades that we built up with those other shades. I think it's so, so cute. And I added my favorite Jeffree Star liquid lipstick, which is Daddy. Jeffree. You're never gonna see this, but if you do, can you get like permission to make Daddy a permanent shade? I know it was a Manny collab and y'all aren't a thing anymore, but like this shade is beautiful, and I think if you re-released it as like a standard shade now, maybe with some fun cremated silver packaging, I think it would sell because it's a very cool tone brown, and I think it'd be beautiful, and I wish you did because I'm running out. Anyways, you guys, this is the first look. Let me know down below what you think of it. I think it's super pretty. Like, it's everything I wanted. This is something I would do every single day, honestly, because it's super effortless. The silvers, the shades we blended together, the silvery grays and stuff, they blended together really nicely. So far so good with this palette. Of course, we do have a ton more to test with it, so be sure to check out my next video, which is the 3 looks 1 palette using the Cremated palette. And if I have any weird experiences with the 3 looks that I do, any shades that are kind of weird, I will do a full review, like shade by shade, breaking down the palette for you video as well. But as of right now, we have 3 looks coming next, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. Thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day wherever you are. Be safe out there, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.